a booster shot will be needed to maximize vaccine-induced protection and
They should
prolong its
be
durability.
given a boost vaccine.
Start offering boosters broadly.
Protecting the vaccinated with booster shots.
Here's the problem with that, is that vaccine responses are not linear. More is not better. We need to confront the data as they are, not try to cover stuff up or hide risks. So now the public been told that natural immunity was not as protective, that they can't rely on that.
In today's story, Dr. Malone, the inventor of the mRNA vaccine, addresses a study dated March 22 which indicates the mechanism on how a booster shot may quench the immune response. He also alleged that it is, quote, a little misleading, unquote, that the CDC director said we did not have any data on the booster shot on August 19th.
Is there hope, or better yet, data, that getting this third booster shot could actually prevent transmission?
So there's actually hope. We don't have data yet. We have not yet seen the data, but we are hopeful that the booster will not only protect you, give you a higher level of protection, not just against the Delta variant, but against a broad range of variants, but it might also decrease the level of virus that you have and make it less transmissible.
So to say that we don't have any data, I think is a little misleading. We have some leading indicators that suggest that it might not be such a good idea. Vaccine responses are not linear. More is not better. There are many cases where if you dose more or dose more frequently or move beyond a prime and a boost, you can actually quench the immune response. So you can move into, it's called high zone tolerance. You can move into a situation in which your immune responses drop. And there's a paper showing that you can actually quench T cell responses. If that paper was to be expanded and verified with more robust numbers, it would suggest that one dose after natural infection would be a good thing. 2 doses would be a bad thing. Now that's kind of the equivalent of 3 doses. If you think about it, natural infection being dose number 1. Now, those data will come out from Israel, and I think the conservative position to take is time will tell.
In Singapore, people who have had an earlier COVID-19 infection are recommended by the Ministry of Health to take only 1 dose of the vaccine after 3 months from their date of diagnosis. This is in line with the paper mentioned by Dr. Malone, which has a contributing author from Singapore's Duke NUS. Beside highlighting the potential risk of the booster shot, Dr. Malone also pointed to an Israel study which shows that natural immunity provides longer and stronger protection against infection and illness by the Delta variant.
It's now been shown in that paper and others that the breadth of that immune response in terms of T and B cell memory populations is more diverse and more long-lasting than the breadth of immune response elicited by the spike-based vaccines alone, which contradicted some studies that the CDC had developed. So we were in kind of tension. There's also evidence that there's a significant, depending on the time frame, 6 to 20-fold improvement in protection from infection and disease associated with the natural immunity acquired from prior infection compared to that conferred by the vaccine.
Dr. Malone also spoke about his personal encounter with character attacks from the media.
This is a drop head. Robert Malone claims to have invented mRNA technology. Why is he trying so hard to undermine its use? How do you react to this?
So that's the Atlantic hit piece. It was a very interesting article because it has a number of logic jumps and irregularities, and then it ends up kind of contradicting itself in the last paragraph and basically confirming that my assertions about having been the originator of the core technology are valid. Really, I think what the young author was picking up on in this was some internet memes that have been wrapped around the prior press push that Katie Carrico and Drew Weissman were those that had originated the technology. Now that was clearly false, but it was very actively promoted by their university, which holds a key patent, and then advanced through Stat News, Boston Globe, CNN, and then finally the New York Times. We challenged that, and in the case of the New York Times, they actually recut their interview and podcast with Katie Carrico to cut out the parts where she had claimed that she was the original inventor. It doesn't really bother me. The thing that bothers me about all of this, where they're personalizing character assassination on me and character attacks, is that it distracts from the issues.
Coming up in part 2, what does the data say about repurposed drug? And what are the risks of escape mutant as a result of mass vaccination? Stay tuned.